An article came out today where Ronald D explains one of his least favorite episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation, and in this article it really proves the point of what makes a good Star Trek story just in general, no matter what franchise or what aspect of Star Trek you're talking about, be it Next Generation, Voyager, whatever. And in this article there's a very simple point that proves, at least in my opinion as a working writer-producer in Hollywood, why New Trek simply doesn't work. I'm Trader Bubba, and this is Bubba Breaks Sci-Fi.
You're gonna see some serious shit.
So say we all. Engage.
So this is the article that just came out today, and they're talking about the episode of Star Trek The Next Generation titled High Ground. I'm not going to sit here and rehash the episode, just it's the one where Dr. Crusher gets kidnapped by terrorists. And in this episode, Ronald D. says that this episode is one of his least favorites. It was a note from the network saying that they wanted episodes with more action, so they wrote an action episode where Beverly Crusher gets kidnapped by freedom-fighting terrorists. Ronald D. dubbed this episode an abomination. It's our one terrorist show. We didn't have anything interesting to say about terrorism, except that it's bad. Oh, and Beverly gets kidnapped. Ho-hum. Not holding back, Moore sarcastically described how the show got to have a nice big preachy speeches about terrorism and freedom fighting and security forces versus society. It's a very unsatisfying episode, and the staff wasn't really happy with it. Now, this is the episode that got banned, I believe in Ireland or parts of Europe, because of this scene. Take a look.
I've been reviewing the history of armed rebellion, and it appears that terrorism is an effective way to promote political change.
Yes, it can be.
Yet there are numerous examples when it was successful. The independence of the Mexican state from Spain, the Irish unification of 2024, and the...
Oh, Data, way to go get your episode banned. So, the point of this video isn't to necessarily harp on how bad this episode is. I see you. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll read to you the naughty parts of Imzadi. But it's a good way to showcase what makes good Star Trek good. Brandon Braga was quoted to say, "Very rarely do we start thinking about an episode in terms of an issue. Let's do a show about AIDS. Let's do a show about terrorism. We rarely think in those terms," he said. "We usually think in terms of neat science fiction twists, and that's what sends us in the direction of what this story is about. And who's in it? Sadly, the High Ground had none of that. The day is saved by simply killing the terrorist leader and saying a few pretty words after Dr. Crusher convinces a young boy to put his gun down." So, if your show, and honestly, this kind of works not even just for Star Trek, but anything you're writing, if your show doesn't have anything to say, then what the hell are you writing it for? Now, there's plenty of great episodes of Star Trek that don't preach anything. They're great character-driven episodes where we learn more about those characters. But even within those character dives, we're learning something about the human condition, and it might just be something as simple as, man, being human is hard, emotional complexity, whatever. But those episodes still have something to say, and this is why New Trek, especially Star Trek Discovery, quite frankly, doesn't work. It doesn't have anything to say. It is shallow, it's all flash with no substance, and it just isn't compelling storytelling. Even Star Trek Strange New Worlds, which I've been enjoying, but not necessarily enough to be like, man, I really got to watch that next episode. I feel like this is kind of what the show is hit or miss with. It's still a great show. It's a lot more fun, and still better written than the other New Trek, but I still like it's still missing that thing that makes Star Trek Star Trek. And I think that point of not having something to say is that thing. But apparently, and this is another article that just came out today, Star Trek Strange New World Season 4 has more classic Star Trek episodes, fewer big swings, says co-EP. So time will tell. We'll have to see. I know a lot of you probably actually like Strange New Worlds, and I'm not at all trying to knock it. I think, look, in this modern world where network TV is dying, we're lucky to have any episodic Star Trek at all. And then most of what we did get was just not good. So we're lucky to even have this show where it's like, hey, there's a lot worse. Hey, this video is brought to you by TraderBubba.com. At TraderBubba.com, I got all sorts of fun new sci-fi shirts and mugs. Tea, okay, hot. Release the Riker Files. This is actually one of my favorites, huge seller. And I Survived Wolf 359. All proceeds do go to charity. The charity does change once in a while, so come back and take a look at that. TraderBubba.com. Link in the description down below. Every good Star Trek episode had something to say, and it's not necessarily a preachy thing. It's just something. Say something. What is it? What is the theme that or the message that you're trying to get out? If you don't have one, your story is going to be flat and dull. And that is what Star Trek The Next Generation, The High Ground, has proven. Anyway, I thought this was an interesting article. I wanted to share it with you guys. I hope you guys are having a great week. I look forward to seeing you in my next video, but don't go away just yet because I got another Star Trek video and other sci-fi vids popping up right here. You're going to want to check them out. I'll see you in the next video.